Whatever's through there, it seems still intact. Think we'll find anything?
Bartrand is far more enthralled with this place than you are.
Unlike him, I wasn't born in Orzammar. I wouldn't even be down here if there wasn't profit in it. This entire place gives me the chills. Let's hope it's worth it.
Chances are we won't find anything but even more darkspawn. And rubble. Maybe bones?
I suppose we'll need to go down there to find out.
Alright, well. Found a way in. Now we just gotta see what's down here, and, yeah, our job isn't even close to being done. Seeing a few of these golems here. And they're coming to life. Now, to the best of my knowledge, golems have something to do with control rods, right? So, how these guys are becoming active, or what's activating them, or whatever, I'm curious to find out. Shades, man. They're all like damn near lieutenant level shades. It's not cool at all. Tearing my party apart, too. Beating Varric's ass, poor guy. Alright. Well, he's got an injury. He hasn't been knocked out yet. Or, well, maybe he did. Maybe he was when I wasn't paying attention. Anders got him back up. So I don't think you have to specifically get a knockout to get an injury. Sometimes it just happens on a critical. It's like a critical chance in a critical, I think, or something. Okay, he's just chunking rocks and shit now. Apparently Barrett can't get far enough away. Okay, we just keep getting injuries till you just have no health left, dude. How about just do that? Damn. Sure enough, just when I get rid of all my friggin' injury kits, too. Okay, well, the less you have, the more they drop, so we'll just hope that we get some. Alright, find a decent amount of crafting materials down here. That'll allow us to make some better runes and stuff later. Also potions and stuff, but like I was mentioning in the last video, I really don't use them, you know? But if I did, we could make all kinds of grenades and things like that. I guess the central chamber is special spot here, something.
You see what I'm seeing?
Is that lyrium?
It's definitely magic. And not the good kind.
Doesn't look like any kind of lyrium I've ever seen. Look at this, Bartrand. An idol made out of pure lyrium, I think. Could be worth a fortune.
You could be right. Excellent find.
Bartrand's sounding very strange. Of course, none of us noticed, right?
Not bad. We'll take a look around. See if there's anything further in.
You do that.
The door!
Bartrand! It's shut behind you!
You always did notice everything, Varric.
Are you joking? You're going to screw over your own brother for a lousy idol?
It's not just the idol. The location of this tag alone is worth a fortune. And I'm not splitting that 3 ways. Sorry, brother.
Bartrand! Bartrand! Oh, I swear I will find that
No.
son of a bitch. Sorry, mother, and I will kill him.
Sorry, Mother. Alright,
Hope there's
well,
a way out of here.
I wonder if this Red Lyrium takes root when there's something there to take root in. In other words, if there already is something bad about you, to find, you know, some seat of corruption there. I don't know. I'm just, you know, maybe Bartrand was prone to that type of stuff all along anyway. I'll tell you what, these shades being essentially immune to the prime damage of my main hand weapon, alright? They're becoming kind of hard to deal with here. Like I say, personally, I'd rather just have base physical damage on my gear, and then, you know, any upgrades from elemental weapons from my mages, any runes I put in there, that's all fine and dandy after that. Okay, but, the base damage is just going to do what it does. May not do as much against some enemies as others or whatever, but it's always at least going to do something. You're not going to hear your main character screaming useless every 2 seconds. Alright. Yeah, okay, I remember right. Yeah, once you get in the room, a whole bunch of these higher tier shades pop up essentially behind you. See, I'm doing nothing to these shades, really. That's where it's going to be good to have Meryl later on. You find a element that these guys are weak to and give her that staff, and she's going to buff everybody's weapons with that particular kind of damage, and you can really start destroying things. Bringing her down here wasn't really an option anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Just hang in there a little longer, Aveline. Damn, that's a bunch of shades. Like, a lot. Now, if shades are demons, why all these demons and how are they so closely associated with these golems here? Just saying, there's some... I mean, these aren't here together like this by accident. If you want to just make us face mobs of enemies, well, you know... There's other combinations of enemies you could throw in there, but specifically associating these hordes of shades with these active golems here. Shades, man. This is like, what, 25, 30 or something? That seems like it. It's really not acceptable having to hack away at these guys for 20 minutes each. That's not cool. I'll be glad when we're done with these guys and take this lesson into Act 2. But if we have to face these anymore, to know what their weakness is and always be ready for that. See, this is insane. This is essentially as bad as the end boss fight for this area. $800, almost worth, well, a little over half as much as that stupid dragon. But honestly, I'd rather fight that dragon twice than do that crap again right there. Guarding a lot of chests. Better make it worth our while. Let's see. See if we can get another one. We can. Good. You know, if one of these shades dropped an injury kit and I can get him full health, then we're back to even again, as far as I'm concerned. Cool with that. Varric's been taking the brunt end. There it is. Nice. Like I said, the less you have, the more they drop. And so now we're down to seemingly no potions, but the next few enemies we killed, assuming we can get through without dying, then they should drop health potions and stuff, you know, stamina, lyrium, whatever. Kind of get it as you go. And if you can knock out mobs fast enough, then you're good. You know, stay a little ahead. and sell the rest. Use all you need and sell the rest. There you go. And more shades. My character's not built to just go toe-to-toe, you know, blow for blow with these guys. That's supposed to get back there, hit them once or twice, and be done with it and move on. I'm going to go so far as to say it's infested with shades down here. This is beyond just, you know, a few enemies. This is, they need raid shade spray or something down here. Really, really bad. Alright, are we at least done with the shades? Okay, now we have these guys. Okay, I remember where we're at now. Cool. This is where lightning defense comes in handy. Now watch, alright? Just pay attention to the ranged hits that I take. And look what it does to my health. As opposed to getting like 2 or 3 shot by these guys, which could essentially happen without any kind of lightning resistance. I think they can still do some kind of melee damage, but pretty much their primary damage is lightning. And I can sit there and tank these guys, essentially. It's also something to keep in mind for some of the harder, and I mean really hard challenges. Especially through Act 2, where we'll run into different combinations of enemies, and having a high, say, fire or spirit resistance is... makes things a whole lot more manageable. You can take the hits, where enemies that would like 2 or 3 hit you now can sit there and wail on you for a little bit and, you know, not do a whole lot.
Do it.
And a few more shades. And a few more shades. I mean, damn, you know? Now, okay. Let's just say each race produced a particular type of demon once their spirit passed on? I don't know. I mean, you know, I was thinking in like Darkspawn, each race produces a particular kind of Darkspawn. I was wondering, these shades wouldn't be dwarven demons, would they? I don't think so. I was thinking maybe, you know, the spirit of a Canary, you know, pass along and then come back as a demon. Could be like a rage demon. And then, Arcane Horror could be like, you know, say, human, maybe even it's of Intermagister, a demon stemming from that. And then... I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably stretching there. I don't really have anything to base that on. But I was just thinking, you know, if shades were, say, just, you know, demons brought back from spirits of, say, dead people. Although I doubt it's particular to a race thing. It's probably the type of spirit or type of person, regardless whether you're dwarf, Canary, human, whatever. But if there was something to that, then it would explain a human presence down here, or something akin to that. Still trying to explain away the presence of magic and magical artifacts and magic-related stuff that's so prevalent amongst dwarves. I mean, this is going all the way back to Origins, you know, and Orzammar.
Enough. You have proven.
Well, who's this?
I would not see these creatures harmed without need.
I'd say being attacked on sight gives us plenty of need.
They will not assault you further not without my permission.
That means they had your permission in the first place then,
are these
I guess?
things?
But you couldn't kill us, so now you want to bargain?
They hunger. The profane have lingered in this place for ages, beyond memory, feeding on the magic stones until the need is all they know.
They eat the lyrium. Sounds like a healthy diet.
I am not as they are. I am a visitor.
It seems mostly interested in their hunger. It's a demon come to feed.
I would not see my feast end. I sense your desire. You seek to leave this place, but you will need my aid to do so.
Don't do it. Demons will trip you up every time.
What are our options?
I'm not becoming that thing's next meal.
Most unwise.
Another thing I was noticing is, alright, these, you know, they're down here feeding hunger demons or whatever that's guiding these things. Essentially, stone itself come to life with some kind of demonic force or whatever, being fed by the lyrium, maybe corrupting the lyrium, or corrupted by the lyrium or something. Like I say, their presence here and the Red Lyrium here, no coincidence, but notice their attacks are lightning, and the two blood mages I have in the party, and I will go ahead and count Anders in that, and that, you know, maybe he's not necessarily cutting his wrists every time he wants to cast, you know, a blood spell or something like that, but, you know, his demonic influence, for lack of a better term, he's got a spirit in him that likes to kill innocent people, so there you have it. No, he doesn't just kill Templars, he'll kill anybody and everybody when he's in his zone, but, he has the primal tree at his disposal, and, you know, the lightning spells don't have friendly fire either. At least not in here. In Inquisition they do. And in Origins they do, but in Dragon Age 2 that was taken out for whatever reason. And that may be not even accident. But they have a demonic influence and they use lightning as a primary attack. So do my two blood mages, right? Meryl and Anders, but Bethany doesn't have that at her disposal. It's interesting. I mean, just an observation. Don't know if it's relevant, but throwing it out there. Big part of my experience personally with Dragon Age is to sit back and wonder at all the things they hint at and that they reveal if you look. Now, a lot of times, you know, I'm seeing things that aren't there. I'm sure, you know, and that's cool because it's nice to wonder. It's nice to theorize and be curious, you know. And they give a rich world here to explore and, you know, look into research, you know, specifically for that. So I think that's awesome. And we leveled up being down here. That's a lot of XP to be gained from doing this. Alright, I need the Shadow Tree unlocked. That's where this build... The first major step is getting Assassinate unlocked. Alright. And the next is getting the Shadow Tree unlocked, where basically all your attacks become essentially just doubly brutal. Start really destroying some stuff. And we'll get to the point, I think the key to my particular build here is to where basically everything's a critical. Now, there is something to be said. There is a passive which calls for basically every attack that you make while you're obscure. And obscurity is an effect that can be left behind where you're kind of grayed out. You're not exactly in stealth, but you might as well be. You become almost impossible to hit, much harder to hit, to where you can almost get kind of tanky, okay? And all the attacks made while you're obscure can become criticals, right? So essentially every basic attack is a critical. And you can also get it to where, for the most part, Assassinate's always a critical. I think that's built into Assassinate. And then any attack coming out of stealth, that's built into the stealth tree. They become criticals, so whether you're in stealth, coming out of stealth, or shortly after stealth and you're obscured, everything you're doing is a critical pretty much all the time. There is something you can do with Varric in the party, is give him the, oh, what is it called? It's a grenade that's just down below evade in the stealth tree. And I'm probably going to gear him towards that, although, like I say, I'm not going to keep him in the party much, you know? Maybe a little more than I think, depending on what happens with Legacy and some other stuff. But when he throws those... Chameleon's Breath, I believe it's called. All right? And he can obscure essentially anyone in the radius. It's kind of like a miasmic flask, but it makes you obscure for a certain period of time. Okay? And the more often he can use that, the better. And what he can essentially do is... It sends your defense through the roof. Like I say, it makes you basically unhittable by at least normal enemies, right? And probably really hard to hit even by some higher, maybe even boss level enemies like dragons and stuff. All right? But get obscure, and then every hit becomes a critical, and you become almost impossible to hit, and you can stealth around the battlefield. So between Varric spamming obscure on you, and you can have him hit you with it specifically, but it's an AoE thing, so if you happen to be near someone like Aveline or whatever, it's just a bonus, you know, that's all the better. But if he can keep you obscure, it's a double deal going on there. Is it's offense and defense, right? And the harder you're hit, but the harder you are to track. If they turn to hit you, they can't hit you, right? And if you're hitting them hard enough, they take their attention off of someone else where you don't want the attention, like say one of your mages or Varric or whatever. And you can really start to get a good team flow during combat, where Varric's keeping you obscure, Varric's keeping the hate off of Anders and off of himself, and keeping the hate on Aveline, and you can run around and just wreck house, you know, wreck shop. And so there you go, you know, and that's a strategy. Like I say, I won't have Varric a lot, but when I do, I will definitely apply that. And then it even works if you're playing a warrior. He can spam you with obscure and goad. He can keep the heat on you and at times keep you from essentially getting hit. Right? Being a two-handed warrior, you're not going to take quite as many hits as you would, you know, playing the tank role. Alright, here we are. This is, for Dragon Age 2 players, this is probably famous. This can be one of the tougher battles in the game. It can be really, really hard or really, really easy. Go ahead and level everybody up before we head in. Okay, I need to get Anders' Stone Fist, and when his health pool is good, and that's gonna be buffed a bit by, you know, equipment and stuff. Anything that can give him a larger mana pool and quicker managed regeneration, I'm all for it. And we're gonna want to give him a Golem's Fist, right, for any targets that are disoriented. Hopefully I can be disorienting people. That's another good thing about having Varric around, is any skill he has that can disorient enemies. Too bad Miasmic Flask is friendly fire, or that would actually come in handy in a lot of ways. It's a good tactical item, but well, you know, I don't use it for obvious reasons. I tend up knocking myself out. Now notice I'm turning off any lightning. Everything in this next room is immune to lightning, and so it's a waste of mana. Because he's going to cast it. If he catches a few enemies together, he's going to hit them with chain lightning, and that's going to use up mana that he could reserve for, you know, other stuff. Specifically, he just needs to heal us. You know, he just needs to keep us on our feet. We can do the rest in here. In fact, I can pretty much take care of it, just so long as he keeps me alive.
This is the vault. The dwarves would have brought their...
Yeah, I knew that was coming, right? Hello. Instead of blue, notice he's red. It's Red Lyrium there.
Can't be good.
And he's pissed. Okay, so, alright, key to surviving this is right here initially, right? Having high lightning resistance, this is where it's absolutely crucial. Okay, the only thing he's really going to get me with is any kind of AoE explosion type thing, and physical attacks, obviously. You know, if he can straight up just hit me, he can knock me down. Now, Aveline can take it. Aveline can take just him. That's not a problem, right? But once you've done enough damage, he has a pattern, I guess you could say, an attack pattern. And too bad my dog had to sit out there and take that bolt to the face. All right, and he'll do that, and then he'll collapse, and then he'll spawn some of these guys. I can let them pelt me a little bit. Like I say, having lightning resistance, look, they're doing almost nothing, essentially. I think their attacks are weakened a little bit in here because there's so many, and to keep the balance of the boss fight, right? So they don't do quite as much as some of the profanes we've seen up to this point, but they will do damage. If you don't have the lightning resistance, they will whittle you down, and they'll whittle the party down to where Anders can't really keep up, maybe the way you'd like him to. Alright. Okay, now if you do enough damage, he'll immediately go back into that animation where he, you know, does the big energy ray thing, okay? I didn't do quite enough, so I'm going to have to whittle him down just a little more. I think it's in thirds. Every about 30% of his health or so, he's going to do that. And in the last 30%, he'll start going into this vacuum mode. Alright. Anyway, like I said, it was just a matter of a few extra hit points. Had we done a little more damage, he would immediately gone back into this again. And the pillars protect you from it. The hard part is really just getting everybody together. I think there's a way to where you don't have to go into the command wheel to get everybody to move with you, but I found it's easiest just to get everybody together and say, hey, come stand over here for a second, you know? Okay, now big key to this fight right here is getting as much damage done to him right now as possible. Because I'm going to want him to go into his final animations. I think he's at that point. I think we're good. I don't think he's going to do much rolling around anymore. When he rolls around and does the huge AoE balls thing, that's where he really does the damage. Here's the big vacuum thing that I was talking about. All right. The closer you are to it, I think the more damage you take. So, all right. And he'll collapse one more time, do his energy beam thing. I have no idea what happened to Anders right there. I have no idea. Must have caught him in the vacuum, I guess. He got caught in the that's fine. I mean, we're almost done, so... I would like to have not lost anybody, just for pride's sake, but, right here, I would be tempted to go clear them out again and give them a whole nother chance, but, like I said, the lightning's doing almost nothing. 1 damage, I mean, or something. Now, they could probably do a little damage melee, but it doesn't matter, it's over. I love this right here. Go figure. Alright, there's your ancient rock wraith.
Wraiths are supposed to be dwarven legends. They're not even supposed to be real.
Looked pretty real to me.
I suppose it doesn't matter. Look at what it was guarding.
Let's see if there's something that can help us get out of here.
Yeah, sure enough, but I don't mind taking some of this with me. Better get rewarded. Kind of like the dragon at the bone pit, this guy has a very small chance to drop a substantial amount of money, like, I don't know, 10, 15 gold, I think, or something like that. 9 or 10, something. I never get that. I always get that stupid little 12, 13 silver crap, you know. Maybe a little more if I have a Rune of Fortune equipped in my stuff, which I stupidly replaced with my Lightning Rune, I think, in my equipment. So we could have had roughly 2 or 3% more gold walking out of here than what we found, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna worry about it. I think we're a little ahead of the game.
I hope. Let's collect the best pieces we can carry out of here and then go.
Alright, so even if we took the deal to come to the Deep Roads and we have to pay back all of our profits or whatever, either way, if we would have had it, we'd have had to invest it and just get it back. This way, we got it and gave it back. It all comes out as a wash. But
How long?
This allows us to walk away with at least something,
If we're
right?
unlucky, maybe a week.
And if we're lucky?
We stumble over Bartrand's corpse on the way.
Yeah, right? Asshole left us down here to die. Literally.
Home, sweet home. Finally. Oh, I wonder if Bartrand came back to the city. You think I'd be that lucky?
Luck hasn't exactly been our strong point so far.
Oh, I don't know about that. The treasure we found in that crypt far outstrips Bartrand's stupid idol. He'll be green with envy when he finds out. As soon as I get the chance, I'll look up my contacts to make sure we get the best price. I imagine you'll want to head home. Tell your family the good news. We're going to be rich.
What's
It's another
going
thing,
on?
not only can Varric be trusted...
Please don't do
Uh-oh,
anything.
what's this?
Mistress Bethany is being taken to the Circle of Magi in the gallows.
The gallows
Proud of
is
that,
horrible.
Colin?
You can't go there.
Bitch?
I have to.
That's where the apostates go, isn't it?
Consider yourselves fortunate. The Viscount has requested we spare your family the punishment for harboring a dangerous mage.
Oh, Bethany, what will happen to you? Don't worry, Mother. I'll be fine. Look after her.
I'm not gonna say I'm not glad that I don't get to kick your ass right now, friggin' Templar. But I don't owe the Viscount any favors. He's quick to let anyone skate.
So the champion's sister was in the circle?
Yes, but that's not the connection you're looking for.
Isn't it? Driven from their home, a sister taken against her will, and the champion's companions, Merrill, Aveline, Isabella, that warden Anders.
Don't remind me. I introduced them.
We thought they all came from Ferelden together, but now it makes sense. Motive and opportunity.
It's still not what you think.
Then I need to hear more.
Unless you've already decided. I can always go if you don't need me anymore.
Tell me what came next.
The treasure we found in the deep roads made us a fortune. The champion moved up in the world. Literally. Bought a mansion in Hightown. Everyone knew who she was now. Even the Viscount was taking notice. Bethany was in the circle now. There was nothing we could do for her. Poor girl. 3 years later, the Qunari still hadn't left. The Qunari insisted they were waiting for their ship. But some of us knew better.
It's getting to a boiling point with them, I'm sure. Alright, time for Act 2. Very cool how this is told in a story format. We're living or playing out the story. It's kind of what RPGs are about. Writing your own story as you go. Very cool. Alright, so we've moved up in the world a little bit. I'm still wearing this DLC armor stuff. Probably start looking for some new armor. Maybe some new weapons too. I don't know, these axes are cool. I'll hang on to them, but I'm missing my Dalish daggers. I really am. They look so cool, man. It's one of the first things I loved about this game when I played the demo before it even got released. Was these friggin' daggers. I was like, those are sweet.
There are concerns the Qunari influence is no longer contained.
Was it ever? Kirkwall has tension enough between Templar and Mage. But these Qunari, they sit like gargoyles waiting for Maker knows what, and everyone goes mad around them. Nearly 4 years I've stood between fanatics. And now, this.
Don't keep us in suspense.
Leave us. Meredith at my throat, Orsino at my heels, and a city scared of heretical giants. Balance has held because the Qunari ask for nothing. Even the space in Lowtown was a gift to contain them. But now, the Arishok has requested you. By name. What did you do?
I got his attention a couple of times. I guess I impressed him, but that was years ago.
It makes no sense. And it doesn't matter. I just need them quiet. I remember how you helped my son. It seems you are meant to have influence above your station. Speak to the Arishok. Give him what he needs to keep the peace. Can you do that for Kirkwall, Sarah Hawk?
Well, put your backhanded compliment aside, sure.
But I haven't heard anything major in years.
Zealots are bravest where their lies can't be argued, behind closed doors. Chantry leaders see Qunari beliefs as a challenge, not an attack. But the message gets muddled among casual adherents. I'm certainly not equipped to argue the fine points of faith.
Have the years been kind to Seamus?
He is his own man. But your actions tempered him somewhat. He's not so angry at the world. I thank you for that. I may not agree with him on many things, but I am proud of what he is becoming.
The Qunari usually arrive as conquerors. Odd that this has gone on so long.
Very, and I have no interest in antagonizing them. That is partially why I suffer being a messenger today. A treaty exists, and it has been honored. Although...
You have doubts?
They claim they're waiting for a second ship. But it has been 3 years. They want something else.
Sounds like you'd be better off without this headache.
They will not leave, and we don't have the resources to force the issue. At least, not in a way that would leave the city intact. If they had come to conquer, I suspect they would have done so.
Any idea what I can expect?
None. Honestly, I don't think I've heard 2 direct words from the Arishok. Other than his rather deliberate phrasing of begone. If you think his asking me to notify you of this is strange, well, you would be right.
I'm always willing to assist.
Well, that is an attitude this city has lacked for a long time. Appease the Arishok. Take his demand and let him return to dormancy. As awkward as this has been, it is better than the alternative. Stepping down is looking more and more appealing.
Alright, well, there we go. So that kind of sets the stage for Act 2.
The Arishok has left me out of this action.
Kind of centrific to the Qunari in general. But basically every area now in the game is refreshed. Sure enough, you revisit some of them, blah blah blah. That argument is a little stale. There'd be different loot and maybe even a few new codexes, lots of crafting materials and stuff to find. We'll be heading back to the Wounded Coast and back to Hightown at night and Lowtown at night and the docks at night and all that good stuff. New quests and new faces to see and new people to help out and blah blah blah.
Seamus, wasn't it? The Viscount's boy?
You're here rather often, Sirrah Hawk. A good influence, I think. Even by not taking sides, you helped start something. I still accept no blame for defending Qunari, and I don't miss the kinship of the people who oppose what I believe.
You're determined to be a thorn in someone's side. Good for you.
I'm the son of the Viscount. My actions are dissected no matter what I believe. I may as well try to do some good. If I offend, well, some people try very hard to be offended. There are other ways to see the world. The Qunari have shown me that. Another time.
And that line right there, I've actually used that. The perpetually offended is one of my favorite phrases. Those who are going to be offended, if you don't give them a reason to be offended, they're offended by that. It's just always offended, and those people, they never ever stop to just look at themselves, to take a good honest look at themselves, an appraisal, and stop it. Because if they did, it would be, well, that's why they don't, because when they look in the mirror, it has to be embarrassing. It has to be shameful. I can't see them looking themselves in the mirror. They're perpetually offended because their whole outlook is it's embarrassing. Like I say, love Seamus. After that point, I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool, man. He's just going to be a man about himself and not be tied down by the politics of his father. Of course, yeah. Good luck with that. All right, thanks for watching. You want to subscribe? Click that button up top. For the rest of this Let's Play up to this point, click that image in the middle, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.